ॐ ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति
ॐ ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति
मूर्तिभेदविभागिने
मूर्तिभेदविभागिने
व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय
व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
ॐ सहना भवतु।
ॐ सहना भवतु।
सहनौ भुनक्तु।
सहनौ भुनक्तु।
सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै।
सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै।
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै।
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं।
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं
व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्।
व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्।
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्
अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्।
अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्।
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः।
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः।
वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः।
वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः।
ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः।
ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः।
यस्यान्तन्न विदुः सुरा सुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः
यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः
एवं बहुविधा यज्ञाः
एवं बहुविधा यज्ञाः
वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे
विदता ब्रह्मणो मुखे
कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान्
कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान्
एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे
एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात् यज्ञात्
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात्
ज्ञानयज्ञः परन्तप
ज्ञानयज्ञः परन्तप
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ
ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते
ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते
तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन
तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन
परिप्रश्नेन सेवया
परिप्रश्नेन सेवया
उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम्
उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम्
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः
We have seen two shlokas in 4th chapter. First one is 18th verse. Karmani akarma yah pashyet. Karmani akarmayah. There is a first vision is given by Lord Krishna, and second vision is Brahmarpanam Brahmahavi. Here everything is Brahma. This is called ultimate vision of Vedanta. Having discussed up to 24th verse, from 25th verse, Bhagavan has discussed 11 to 12 yagnas in this chapter. Now here the meaning of yagna is really not yagna, but different type of disciplines. By following this discipline, a person can be purified by their mind, and they can have this understanding of this gnana. That's why we have seen in 25th verse Deva Yagna and Gnana Yagna. In Deva Yagna is considered is like our karma yoga. Okay, nice. 1 minute. So here is a one type of karma yoga. So everything is offered to Ishvara. While in second line, it's our Gnana Yagna, Shravanam Mananam Nididhyasanam, where Bhagavan says, Apare Yagnena Yagnam Upachufvati. So here, Brahmagno means a fire of knowledge in which a person is offered oneself, Yagnena. Here, he's offering one's own ego. It's called Yagnena by oneself. Yagnam means one's ego. Upajuhvati. So this is Gnana Yagna. In 26th verse, Bhagwan has mentioned Shama and Dama, what we are talking in our Tattva Bodha. 26th verse is like a Dama Yagna when we keep our action of organs, all are under control. And in 17th verse, we keep our mind under control. So Sarvani Indriya Karmani Prana Karmani. So Sarvani Indriya Karmani means all activity with regards to sense organs, and Prana Karmani means all activity with reference to our Karmendriya. Both Gnana Deepite Juhvati Atma Sanyama Yogagno. The meaning is with pure understanding. Here Atma Sanyam means we are not controlling, but we are mastering our mind. And with the Gnana Deepite, with the proper Viveka, discrimination, that we have seen, but I am just mentioning. And next 28th verse, Bhagavan has mentioned 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Total 5 yagnas, discipline. In 28th verse, Dravya Yagna means Danam, contribution. Tapo Yagnaha means self-discipline, to keep ourselves in discipline. Like Japa Yagna, like Ekadashi, different type of Tapo. Chandrayana. Yoga Yagna means Ashtanga Yoga. Some are following. Swadhyaya Yagna, Gnana Yagna. Swadhyaya means, like in Gurukulam, very elderly young child, they always to memorize all Vedas, no meaning. It's called Swadhyaya, just reciting. So they chant whole Taittiriya Upanishad without knowing the meaning. It's called Swadhyaya Yagna. Here again Gnana Yagna is coming. The meaning of this Gnana Yagna is what they have recitation. Now they are getting the knowledge in their Gurukulam, in very older dress. Suppose in Gurukulam, child goes at the age of 8 years, up to 15 or 16, they teach only recitation. After 16 years, they teach what they have recitated. It's called Gnana Yagna. The meaning of all verses or even mantras is called Gnana Yagna. Then 10th Yagna is Prana Yagna, Pranayam Yagnaha. So Apane Juhvati Pranam. So it's a Puraka, according to this, the one who knows yoga. So we keep lungs filled with all air and we stop our breathing. It's called Purakam. This Prane Apanam. So one is offering in Apanam into Prana. So it's called Kumbhaka. I think not Kumbhaka but Rechaka. It's just exhaling out. Pranapana Gati Rudva means Kumbhaka. They just hold their breathing. Who are they? Pranayama Parayana. Nowadays, this discipline is very helpful to us. And last one is Ahara Yagnaha. So Apare Niyata Haraha Pranan Praneshu Juhvati. So Niyata, they regulate their food. What to eat, what not to eat is a long list. But Niyata Ahara Pranan Pranesu. Here the meaning of Pranan means desire of eating. And Praneshu means by understanding we should not eat much. It's called in Vaishwanara, our inside fire, we are offering our desire. We are not eating much. It's called Pranan Praneshu Juhvati. And Sarve Ete Yagyavidaha. Bhagavan says these all people are, they know different type of disciplines. And by following this discipline, they become Yagna Kshapita Kalmashaha. Kalmashaha means impurity. Kshapita means destroy. Yagna means by following the yagnena, by the following different type of discipline, kshapita, their all kalmasha are destroyed. That we have seen.
Swamini ji, I want to ask.
Yeah.
So these different types of yajnas are described here, but
Yeah.
does Krishna talk about like what to do, how much to do? Because it's not possible to do everything all the time.
No, but now what to do and what to eat? It comes in 17th chapter. What to eat? Niyata ahara. So it's
Not
coming.
just eating, like all the 11, I'm saying that like we can't do all 11 every day, especially in today's
It's
life.
not. Bhagwan has mentioned different. It's. I think I have one minute quick exercise. These are only samples. There are many disciplines are available. According to
So
people,
that's
what they like, they can pick up only one discipline for their life. It not need to follow all disciplines. But Shamadama we are following. So somebody likes Shamadama, somebody likes Pranayama, somebody likes different type of Dhanam. So all are not necessary for one person. There are, because it's an open mall. Discipline like our Veda is open mall. Person can choose whatever they like. That's why
even if we choose one, it's not possible to do it 100% sometimes.
it's
Takes time.
Yeah, it will take time because whole life is given, no? It's not necessary we will complete this discipline within 5 years or 2 years or 3 years. Life, we can enjoy the life by following this type of discipline. Never, if we have pressurized ourselves, we cannot complete. We will try our best. It will happen.
So, Swamiji, that sorry, just that tena tyaktena bhunjita that comes in Ishavasya,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
exactly what you said.
Yeah, tena tyaktena, the meaning of is little bit different, right? That tena tyaktena bhunjitaha means tena tyaktena bhunjitaha. That gnanam should be protected. Tena tyaktena, by giving up our all desire, is different meaning. But here, protected, but these are the all disciplines are meant for to understand that Ishavasyamidam Sarvam. For that meaning, we have to follow this discipline. But according to me, is Shamadama is good, little bit Tapa is good, whatever we like. It's not compulsory. Anything is not compulsory. Yeah, that, yeah. And one verse. In this 31st verse, Bhagwan says, Yagna Shishta Amruta Bhujaha Sanatanam Brahmayanti. The meaning is one who has followed this type of discipline is called Yagna Shishta Amruta Bhujaha. So a person who follow any type of discipline and then if they eat, it means they take whatever happens in person. His bhuj is not only eating, in my thinking. The meaning is whatever come as a karma phalam, they take as a prasadam, amruta puja. Such person, time will come, they will understand Brahma. Brahma Sanatanam Yanti. So it's not necessary in this life also. It may take in another life. But this is the journey. In this journey, the time will come, they will understand who is Brahman. But who never follows such this disciplinary life, it's called ayagyasya. Ayagyasya means who never follows such discipline, shamadama, anything. For such person, ayam lokaha na asti. Even they cannot enjoy this life also. Because who lives a life without any discipline, waking up anytime, sleeping anytime, eating whatever they like, such people, after some years, they always become sick. Is then, ayam lokaha na asti. In spite of they are living, they cannot enjoy. It's called na ayam lokaha asti. Then anyaha, Anya lokaha means how they can get Swarga. If they are not enjoying this life, so how can, without following discipline, without following any type of, um, uh, our Hindu culture lifestyle, such person cannot have enjoyed this life. What can we talk about after death? They cannot take any type of good loka. Kuto anya kuru sattam. Kutaha anya means after death, nothing. Having talked like this, then Bhagavan says, Evam bahuvidaha yagnaha. In this manner, bahuvida means there are not only 11 or 12. Bahuvida means many. Bahuvida means many and varied. Vitataha, spreaded. Yagnaha, discipline. Brahmanaha mukhe. Here the Brahmanaha means Veda. Mukha means words. From the words of Veda, there are many type of disciplines, and varied disciplines are well spreaded, are given in Veda. And Bhagavan says, Karmajan vidditan sarvan. All discipline, what Bhagavan has mentioned, are born out of activity, actions only. The meaning is, if all disciplines are from action only, then result also limited, because karma is limited. So whatever result we are getting is also limited. But a person who knows this body is performing different type of discipline, not me, such person evam gyatva vimokshase, because such person only can have this gnana. One who follows shamadama, viveka vairagya, whatever. After some time, the person will get maturity. After getting maturity, even a person who doesn't have assimilated gnanam, we have information of gnanam, I am not body, I am not that, we have, but it doesn't mean we are jnani. But Bhagavan says, even such information, this gnanam, when a person has, then what will happen? Bhagavan says, is given in Bhashyam. It says, what person thinks this all different type of discipline are born out of discipline, maybe kaikam, vachikam or manasam, but they are born out of anatma, means either is physical body or a subtle body. But what is my real nature? Nirvyaparahi atma. But my own real nature is, I never do any type of activity. One who person understand like this, that person vimokshase. This is future tense. It is not immediately. That's why Bhagavan says, evam gyatva, having known like this person vimokshase. Because in front of Krishna, Arjuna, you will be liberated. Moksha says future tense. So this is also written, Bhashyam is, na madvyaparaha. This devotee, one who knows one's own nature, even informational way, that this is all discipline are not madvyaparaha. Im aham, here, nirvyaparaha aham. I am is being a consciousness. I cannot do any type of activity. Aham udasinaha. I am just above all type of activity. Asangaha. I am not connected any type of activity. Evam gyatva. Having known like this, that person samyak darshana. He has all samyak darshana, means this vision, everything is nothing but Ishvara. Moksha says sansara bandhana. Time will come that person will release from sansara. And again, I would like to mention here the meaning of sansara is not what we are living. The meaning of sansara is what is happening in our mind. If we are frustrated, then it's called sansara. If we have raga dvesha, it's called sansara. If we have jealousy, anger, whatever, mother, are called sansara. By understanding our real nature, we will free from this complex of our mind. That in Mundakano, Vidyate Hradaya Grantihi. This is called sansara. Sansara is called Granthi means bandhanam, Hradaya means sansara. Hradaya Grantihi. And now Bhagavan is comparing. There are many disciplines Bhagavan has prescribed. Which one is the best? That's why Bhagavan says, Shreyan Dravyamayat Yagnat Gnana Yagnaf Parantapa. Dravyamayat Yagnat Gnana Yagnaha Shreyan. It will come here. Compared to Dravyamyat, like donation, contribution, different disciplines, Gnana Yagna means Shravan Manana Nidityasan, Shreyan is better. Somebody says, why? Bhagavan says, Sarva Karma Akhilam. All our karmas, Parisamapyate, they all will destroy it. We can't say destroy, but all are resolved in understanding of self. Jnane. Jnane means knowledge in the Gnanam. But what is the meaning of Jnana? Means to understanding oneself. All karma will be resolved. There is no compulsion. It doesn't mean we will stop karma, but there is no compulsion. There is no pressure. Gnane parisamapyate. So it's called stuti of karma gnana. Sarva akhilam kam. And I have mentioned also, if you have remembered, I have mentioned only Dravyamaya Yagna. We can keep all Yagna here. And here Gnana Yagna. So comparison, why Bhagavan says Gnana Yagna is Shreyan is better, because all Yagna will give Phalasya Arambhakaha. It will give Phalam. If we are donating, we are contributing, it will give Punya. But Gnanam itself is result. To know oneself is result. There is no further result. Karma, phalam is not there in Gnanam. This Dravyamya, all discipline, sansaram dadati. If we give good karma, it will give punya. If we are not performing good karma, it will give papam. Punyam will give good birth, swarga, like when papam will give lower birth. But still we are in word only, in this universe only, while by understanding oneself, sansarat muchyati, the person will be released from sansara. Here, sansara phalam, even swarga or whatever, is always finite, limited, while to oneself, to knowing oneself, is not infinite. That's why Bhagavan says, Gnana Yagnaha Ishreyan is better than all discipline. But this discipline, in technical language, it's called Sahakarini. Sahakarini means is helpful to get knowledge. We cannot neglect this discipline. Like, is there, they give an example to prepare a khichdi. Which is the main ingredient? What is the main we need? It says fire. Without fire, we cannot cook khichdi or any type of food. But we cannot neglect vessel also. We cannot neglect even water also. But all are considered as a sahakari, helpful. But fire is the main for cooking. Same way, to get knowledge of oneself, Gnana Yagna is the main, while these all are considered as Sahakarini. They all are helpful. Without this all discipline, we cannot have Gnana. It's next impossible. So compared to all discipline, Gnana Yagna, Shreyan. So how can I get knowledge? Because we were there in last So last is, we were there in this verse, we can ask, person can ask, how can get I that knowledge? So Bhagavan says, tad viddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya updekshanti te jnanam gnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. Tad viddhi, Bhagavan says, you should know. Tat gnanam, you should know. How? Pranipatena, by doing namaskaram, pariprashnena, by asking a question, sevaya, by doing service. To whom we have to do pranipata pariprashnena? Bhagavan says, gnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. A person who is a scholar of Vedanta or scriptures, and Brahmanishtaha, tattvadarshinaha means one who is Brahmanishta, who has seen the one who has a vision of the truth is called tattvadarshinaha. Such people, gnanam means that knowledge, te means tubhyam, arjunam, upadekshanti, they will teach. So I have told, first line is the description of student. Shishya, how should Shishya would be? And second line is for teacher. Acharya, what teacher would be? So this is the qualification of teacher, Acharya or Guru, and here the qualification of student. Shishya, what student would be? We have seen last time, there are 3 types of Guru are mentioned in our Shastra. All are good. It's not that, but one is called initiative Guru. Second is called inspiring Guru. And third one is called teaching Guru. So what is initiative Guru? One who gives Upadesha. So in childhood, there's some, in our house, there are some sadhus are coming. We can ask them, give some mantra, we will chant. So even Upanayana, that Acharya is also called initiative Guru. So people give a mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. It's called initiative Guru. One who gives. Here in Vaishnava, there is a one cult in Gujarat. There are what they call is, I forgot the name. They say Brahma Gnanam. Something is, they give only mantra upadesh. Then they don't think also, whether are you chanting mantra or not, they never ask. But they say Brahma Sambandh. They say Brahma Sambandh. I have go to my Vaishnava Guru, they give me Brahma Sambandh. They give Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama. They have to chant. It's called initiative Guru. Second is called inspiring Guru. Like Krishna. When Arjuna was very unhappy, he said, I won't fight. Then Bhagavan says, Klebhya masma gama partha neva tattva upapadyate kshudram hridaya draugbalyam tattva tishta parantapa. Inspire. He never start teaching. But this is called inspiring Guru. And third one is called teaching Guru. Is one who teaches Shastra. It's called teaching Guru. So in initiative Guru, they just give mantra. Inspiring Guru, they give some sentence to inspire us. While third one is give systematic study of Shastra. That teaches very well. By chanting Upadesha, Chitta Shuddhi possible. By this second Guru, inspiring Guru, we may become inspired. But in this teaching Guru, if Shishya is ready, then definitely moksha will possible. Because he is teaching equation Tattvamasi. But these guru are available. All three types of gurus are available in this word. Now, first line of this verse, it gives the qualification of Shishya. So which type of qualification should be which Shishya has? It says in Shastra, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, means Shishya should be Jignasu. Second thing, a Shishya should have humility. And third one is Shishya should ready to serve a guru. So desire to know, it should be, a person should have humility and to serve a guru. All three qualifications are given in this verse. So suppose Jignasa. So what is the meaning of Jignasa? Means Gnatum Ichha in Sanskritam it says desire to know. But how that person have a Jigyasa, desire to know? So we have seen we are performing different type of karma, but each karma has their own limitation. And that Jignasu has gone through all type of limitation. And we are performing karma for what? So we are performing karma for happiness only. But this person has find this karma is fraught with three type of thing. One, our whatever we perform karma is always mixed with pain. It's called when we are try to get it at that time also dukkham. If whatever we are trying to get, then maintaining is also pain. So yoga dukkham, ksheme api dukkham. Yoga kshema vahami. The yoga means aprapyasya prapti and kshema means praptasya rakshanam. At both time we always feel this is very painful. So all karma are mixed with pain. Atrupti karatvam. Whatever we have, but we never have satisfaction. We always say in Hindi, they say, if you give 99, person always think of 100. If we give 999, they start think of 1000. So always, whatever we give, we need more. According to Pujya Swamiji, there is a one, I forgot, Pujya Swamiji used to tell, give me more, give me more. There is a one advertise was there when we are studying. What was there? I forget. Do you know? Remember? Hemalata ji? Dil mage more. Yeah, dil mage more. My heart needs more. Dil mage more. Yeah.
Dil mange more.
So it's always atrupti karatva. Whatever we give, they say this is not complete. I need more. And lastly is bandhakatvam. Whatever karma, they binds us. Before 60 or 70, there was no air condition. We live our life. But now, fan comes, AC comes, we cannot think ourselves without AC. We cannot think ourselves even without any vehicle. So these all gadgets, they binds us. So all karma are bandhakatvam. They never give any type of satisfaction. Dukhamishritatvam. Then this such Jignasu starts thinking these are the limitation, never give permanent happiness, sukham. And in Mundaka, there is one very nice mantra is there. Krutam. Krutaha means all our karma. And akrutaha means moksha, which we can never gain by karma. So, krutaha, whatever we do in karma, are always limited, while moksha is not limited. So, this Jignasu, one who is, Viveka, he starts or she starts thinking, krutena akrutam nasti. Krutena, by performing many action, I cannot get moksha, because moksha is not a karma bind. So, where moksha would be? This is called jignasa. If by performing karma, I cannot have permanent happiness, then where will be the happiness, permanent happiness? It's called jignasa. So here, this jignasa is indicated by the word pariprashnena. He keeps on asking to teacher, how can I do this? What can be this? This is called pariprashnena. And then also, krutena akrutam nasti tad vignanartham gurumeva vigachet. Then that person approaches guru to know this vignanartham. To know this, here pariprashnena is mentioned. So first qualification, very necessary, is jignasa, desire to know. Otherwise, guru keep on teaching, doesn't will go inside, because this person is not interested. So jignasa is the main. Second thing is vinaya. So humility. Person should, offer, surrender one's ego at the feet of guru, teacher. Otherwise, there are many people are in the world, they always check to teacher whether this teacher is knowledgeable or not. Such attitude doesn't give any type of knowledge. So second qualification is person should be vinaya, that person should humility. And third one is sevaya. The meaning of sevaya means person should ready for service. People may ask, what is the benefit of doing a seva of a teacher? So there are many benefits. First benefit is guru has a time. Guru need a time to understand student. At which level student is there? When their interaction, when they start talking each other, then guru can understand from where to start to teach my student. So by doing seva, guru comes to know from where I have to start. Second, by servicing guru, and not by guru only, by servicing gurukulam, it's called karma yoga. It's a student's part. This is karma yoga. I am doing seva for gurukulam, or that's why what was in Mundaka also, that student approach with samida, that wood sticks. Why? It's indication, because in olden times they always performing yagnas. In yagnas they need wood sticks, and when we are going with wood stick, it's indicate I will helpful for your all different type of activity. So from students' part, it's called a karma yoga, and it will help for chitta shuddhi. Third thing is frequency should be matched, students and teacher. Otherwise, teacher starts from other level and students is different level. There is a no frequency. Always Pujya Swamiji used to tell, communication is the perfect when the words should not fall between student and teacher. If teacher is using very heavy words, student cannot understand. So frequency needs to be set between teacher and student. And fourth one is, immediately having come in a gurukulam, if he starts learning, so that student is not yet set in that infrastructure. But if after some time of doing seva of gurukulam, so students also need time to get into the system of gurukulam. So all benefit of seva. Today I have received one mail from Anaikatti student. She's from Japan, but she says, all workers, laborers, they have gone back to their home in Anaikatti Gurukulam. So we have to perform all activity what laborers are doing. So watering the plant, cleaning the vessels, everything, cooking, everything we are doing, plus learning also. So, but for her is very stressful. But if we take very lightly, so it will helpful to understand more, because teacher is there, is also helping, all are together. So all frequency are set. But if not we are prepared, we are not ready for seva, then it will be not beneficial. Guru's whatever upadesham is not beneficial. So all three things, seva, vinayam and jignasa, are for students' part. And now, what type of guru? So Gnaninaha, Tattvadarshinaha is given in this shloka. Gnaninaha, in our language, according to our Mundaka Upanishad, it's called Shrotriya. And the Tattvadarshinaha is called Brahmanishtaha. So what is the difference between Gnaninaha or Shrotriya, Tattvadarshinaha and Brahmanishtaha? What is the difference? The difference is, I have given, who studied Vedanta and one who knows Sanskrit thoroughly are called Shrotriya. And who is the Brahmanist? One who knows the truth of oneself, one whose nature is always abiding in that truth. It's called Brahmanishta. But such person need not to learn even Vedanta. It's called Brahmanishta. Nishtha means abiding. Brahma means in Brahma. Someone who always abides in Brahma is called Brahmanist. Shrotriya, a person, he is on the way to assimilate that truth. He is not Gnani, means he is not Brahmanist, but he is given their his or her life to understand this Gnanam, this Shrotriyam, while this Brahmanist person is already assimilated that life. But this is the plus point of Brahmanist and this is the minus point. But what is the Shrotriya can do? So Shrotriya can teach Vedanta systematically, able to unlock the vision and the grammar points in every verse of scriptures, like Upanishad, Gita, Prakran Grantha, anything. That person can teach properly, systematically, while this Brahmanishta can not able to teach, can give the vision, but cannot unlock the words of scripture. Everything is Ishvara. But how every can be Ishvara, Brahmanishta cannot teach. Who are the Shrotriya? So I have just written, almost all students of Pujya Swamiji are Shrotriya. But who are the Brahmanist? So I have written, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Raman Maharshi, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Tukaram, there are many lists of Brahmanist. But our plus point is Pujya Swamiji is both. He is a Shrotriya as well as he is a Brahmanist. But these students are on the way. And always ask from whom we have to take knowledge. From whom, if you want to learn Vedanta, to whom we have to approach. So first they say Shrotriya only, not Jnani, Brahmanist. Because Brahmanist says everything is Brahma. You have problem. I have no problem. But we are full of problem. Brahmanist doesn't have problem. So always we have to, if we want to learn systematically, then we have to approach Shrotriya only. They say, then the whole description of both have come, Shishya and then Gnanin Tattvadashe Tubhyam Gnanam Upadekshyanti. So which Gnanam they will teach? So the Gnana means what is given in 24th verse, which is given in 18th verse. First one is 18th, really speaking. First, they will give a vision. You are not body, mind, sense complex. This is the first vision. Second vision is there is a no any jada. No, nothing is insentient. Everything is consciousness. Brahmana, that knowledge will teach. And what is the fruit of this knowledge is this. Hear everything. I am not away from Ishvara. That teaching, that gnanam, Ishavase te tubhyam upadekshanti. That teaching, they will teach you. And having got this knowledge, you can also be liberated. Evam gyatva vimokshase. You will be liberated. So here, this verse is over. Again, Bhagwan will do stuti of this knowledge. Because which is more valuable, no? It needs more stuti. We will give more praise of this gnanam. So we will see it tomorrow. Any question regarding this? Unmute. Then I can. Any question? Veda? No?
The Swaminiji, this regarding the 11 yajnas, Swadhyayana yajna, Taittiriya Upanishad that says on one full Anuvakam, it
Yeah.
says about the Vrittancha Swadhyaya Pravachancha, Satyam, everything is in a lot of Swadhyaya. Shama, Dhamma, Atitayasya, Prajapatisya, everything.
Even last
So-
Anuvaka is always very good advice given by teacher to student. One who is leaving the Gurukulam, you know. Acharya de Matru Devo
Acharya Devo Bhava,
Pitru
yeah,
Devo
Atiti Devo.
Acharya Devo Bhava Yani Karmani Tani Sevitani No
Yeah.
Itarmani
No
Om.
Itarani.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it's amazing. It's very nice actually.
Mm.
Swaminiji, in Narada Bhakti Sutras, there is one somewhere in the middle. It comes that you require just a little bit of Ishvara's grace or Ajnani's.
Mahat Kripa.
Mahat Kripa, Kevalam
Yeah.
Swalpamapi, something it comes.
Mhm.
Yeah, so there it seems to be telling that you just require a little bit of grace from Ajnani or from Ishvara.
Yeah.
And here, of course, I understand here we're choosing a teacher who is a Shrotriya.
Yeah.
But
You know,
like
why
how
I'm
to...
telling you, know, suppose Raman Maharshi, if we say, but he has Guru Krupa, Ish Krupa, so he put little bit effort, he become a Gyani. Same way Ramakrishna Paramahansa, he learned. He has many gurus but he was so prepared, no? His mind was so prepared, so he can learn everything. So always there are levels. For even to take a grace of Ishvara, to take a grace of even Guru. So if they bless, we can have. But at that level, our mind should be ready to grasp that knowledge. It can be possible. There are many saints are there, no? They never, I always used to tell, many saints, sadhus, Aravel, Tukaram, there are many. They never did any 3 year course. They never approached also Vedanta. But in their bhajans and all kirtis, we always find Vedanta. So it's a Mahat Krupa. It's called Mahat Krupa. But if we would like to study scriptures, so we always approach first Shrotriya.
Okay,
Because we
I
would
understand.
like to study all scriptures, no? What is Mundaka? What is all Upanishad? All Prakriya? Vedanta takes us systematically,
Yeah.
while Bhakta jumps direct.
Yes.
He has a direct phone number of God.
But to become a real Bhakta is not that much easy. Huh? We say,
Yeah.
but it's very
I know. Yeah, I know. So I've heard this very much, Swaminiji.
Yeah.
They say, people say bhakti is the easy path, but people cannot have real bhakti. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
they don't.
only we
I
should have
always say
trained.
we are using Bhagwan as a means, and our
Yeah.
ends is our all worldly pleasure only. Whatever.
Baniya bhakti.
Yeah. When our goal
Ramakrishna
is for
Paramahamsa
Ishvara,
used to call it baniya bhakti.
our goal should be Ishvara, our means should be Ishvara. Then we can be real Bhakti. Otherwise, it's very difficult.
Yeah, but Swaminiji, like Puja Swamiji says, even though you don't like to give dhanam, you force yourself to do it so that you'll get used to it. So
Yeah.
the same way we can, even though we are not having true bhakti,
Yeah,
we can
take it
force
as
ourselves to
yeah.
practice, so you will get into that path automatically.
Yeah, slowly we will go, but it is not easy. This Vedanta.
Yeah, how long you can ask for anything? Like you will get bored,
Right. I mean,
after
that
some
is
time.
always my concern. You know,
Yeah.
we justify that, but you just keep on justifying your whole life. You just keep on justifying your.
No,
And I feel
after
like,
some time you will get bored asking,
how,
give me this, give me that.
You won't get bored. This attachment grows stronger and stronger as you get older. The attachment becomes even stronger. That as you lose your own
I
capability.
don't think so. See, we all have fear in life, like saying, okay, kids have to settle down. We have to have mainly for kids, right? So until they settle down in life, you will have that fear. Once they
No,
do,
I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure.
you'll
I
be
mean,
out of it. Like,
you can justify like this by saying once kids go, I'm going to be free. But that mindset you have to train right from now. I mean, you cannot wait for that. This is
but
where I think you need to have
see,
some.
at least I'm talking about myself. Like, I don't have the maturity to say, okay, I am doing with real bhakti, I'm doing the prayers, but I cannot do that. I don't have that maturity.
No,
I'm
but you
not
need
in
to have
that
the
level.
willingness to do that. That's what I'm saying. You don't. I don't have the maturity either. But that understanding, I think, is what I'm seeking. That understanding that at what point I am going to,
what I'm
grow
saying,
out of this fear.
being Grihastha also, we can ask to Lord. From where we can ask to Lord. But time will come.
Exactly.
We don't have desire to ask. If we
That's what I
really
think.
love
Like,
if we really love
at least we should hook up ourselves into that path, like saying prayers, and even if we ask everything for everything to God, slowly we will get bored. That's what I think. And without any, I mean, we just
I
do
don't think
prayers,
we'll get
only
bored. I mean,
loving God.
we never get bored of asking. We never get bored of desires. We never get bored of attachments. And I think consciously you have to pay attention to these things when you are asking for God. You think about it. Why am I asking?
Of
What
course,
is
we
it that
have
I
to
really
think.
need?
Definitely, we have to think about it.
I have one elderly lady student. When our ashram was under construction, just in beginning, she says, I will come here, I will stay here. I like to live in ashram. So our ashram a little bit, she can stay that much putti azarte. Then I say, please come. Now ashram is ready. She says, I have to complete some work. After that, I will come. After 1 year, again I said, even now for camp, she is not coming. She says, I have to complete. There are too much work, So it never ends.
Karma perpetuates itself. It is never ending. It just perpetuates itself. But when you complete one karma, it has already left the seed for 100 other karmas.
Like coronavirus.
Yeah, it's worse than coronavirus. Yeah.
Like that.
But we are listening to
only kills the body, but
Swaminiji's
karma
lectures
just
and
kills the whole.
Yeah, what?
No, we are listening to all the lectures and everything, and good contacts, going to ashrams, temples. That will make you think
Yeah.
like nothing belongs to you, right?
Yeah.
After some time.
Yeah.
That's
But
what
after
at
some time,
least we
right
should.
now also nothing belongs to you. You have to prepare it.
Yeah, but we don't realize that. That is the problem.
No, you are, when you're thinking, no, that there is a must be something inside that makes you think "Okay, nothing belongs to me." It will grow.
Yeah.
But this thinking will give you definitely no problem.
Like Anekati, even Ashravidya Gurukulam also, they stopped all the
All work.
works and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah.
They
Right.
do by themselves, Swaminiji.
Oh.
I mean, on a lighter note.
So one who never does anything, no, it will be very heavy for them.
I know.
Particularly in ashram, they always depends bandhakatvam. They are depend on labor.
Yeah. This has never happened like in 33 years.
Yeah.
They never closed the ashram.
Yeah.
It's the
Ah.
first time.
Even Viditatmananji ashram here, only 4 people are living in Ahmedabad.
Oh,
Nobody is allowed inside.
Mm.
actually, we will have, usually we have Swami P's, Pratyek Bodhanandaji's lectures during this time,
Yeah.
end of March, everything cancelled.
We don't know when.
Swaminiji, I have a question.
Yeah.
This is sort of like a, I think it's a grammar question. In the 14th chapter, maybe there are other examples too, but in Gunatita, there is Lord Krishna says Janma Mrityu Jara Dukkaihi Vimukto Mritam Ashnute. That 20th verse. Janma Mrityu Jara Dukkaihi Vimuktaha Amritam Ashnute.
Okay.
So why he's using Jara Dukkaihi? So Dukkaihi is third case, right? Dukkaihi.
Yeah, but all are 3, no? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Dukkha is a compound.
Right.
Yeah.
So it is a compound which is treated like a Bahuvachanam, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And also that was one, and that other question was why it is third case, like why not fifth case?
They also sometimes they use the third case as a from. Yeah. It's like apadanam. They can use in some time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, using.
So you can use it like freedom from all these things,
Yeah.
but the third case.
Yeah. Sometimes use they use sometimes.
Okay.
Generally they always follow this Anushtup meter. So when it doesn't fit.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense too. So if you say Janma Mrityu Jara Dukkha, the fifth case
will come Byaha. So
Dukkha.
one more syllable will come then.
Okay.
If there's okay. Now shall we do Purnamada?
Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.